Good morning. My name is Meike and my partner's name is Cherryland. We are affirmative team number 116. We are debating the question, resolved, the Michigan legislature will mandate school districts to enact anti-cyberbullying policies. No matter what arguments the negative team will present in this round, an anti-cyberbullying policy is necessary to end cyberbullying. The Michigan government wants to protect its students and their rights. This protection is being undermined by cyberbullying. It has become so problematic that 40% of kids say that they've been cyberbullied. Only 10% of those bullied told their parents. Cyberbullying is when insulting, threatening, or hurtful comments are posted on the internet for others to see. The affected student may take this very harshly, and it could lead to suicidal thoughts, and even suicide. Some may argue that cyberbullying itself does not lead to suicide. However, it is clear that it tends to exacerbate instability and hopelessness in the minds of adolescents already struggling with stressful life circumstances. This means already fragile teens are being pushed over the edge. This is turning into a suicide epidemic. To date, the fastest growing problems of cyberbullying are 1. Stealing an individual's name and password from a social networking site, then using their profile to post rumors or other damaging information. 2. Altering photographs or using Photoshop or other photo editing software to embarrass that individual. 3. Using websites and blogs to post hurtful and embarrassing information about another individual. These are very personal violations. One recent case of cyberbullying was when Phoebe Prince, an Irish immigrant, killed herself. She had been receiving harassing and embarrassing online and cell phone messages. She was found dead after being cyberbullied incessantly at her high school. According to the National Crime Prevention Center 2009, over 40% of all teenagers with internet access have reported being bullied online during the past year. Our resolution is to provide education and awareness-based approaches to effectively reducing harmful behavior. Such education-based legislative approaches have the added benefit of remaining within the boundaries of the First and 14th Amendments, because government would not be seeking to restrict speech, but simply to better inform and empower parents regarding the parental control tools and techniques already at their disposal. The U.S. Department of Education has stated it unconstitutional for schools not to protect a child's civil rights by not having an anti-cyberbullying policy. Schools can get sued for not having anti-cyberbullying policies. Funding is another major concern. Here's the solution. As stated before, it is unconstitutional for schools not to protect students' civil rights. It will cost schools not to have anti-cyberbullying policies, so they could use the money that instead of getting sued to put these policies in place. In order to prevent a suicide epidemic and in the process protect the First and 14th Amendment, an anti-cyberbullying policy is necessary. As the evidence clearly states, this panel should vote in favor of the affirmative position. Thank you for your time.
Another speeding driver was pulled over in front of my house. To most people, the speed limit is more of a suggestion than a law. It also seems drivers think our front yard is a huge trash can because there's so much litter all over the highway. These are two prime examples of laws that are broken and ignored every day. So my question is, will another policy/law really stop cyberbullying? We are debating the question resolved. The Michigan legislature will mandate school districts to enact cyberbullying policies. Since when did it become a school's job to regulate every aspect of a child's life? Isn't it the school's job to educate the children? The state of Michigan already provides a curriculum of what each grade level student should accomplish. We also teach computer applications starting in kindergarten, which includes the student and a parent signing a technology use policy. To begin, let's discuss the legislation that is already in place to protect students from online threats. In early 2001, the Child Internet Protection Act, known as CIPA, was issued by the Federal Communications Commission to make public schools and libraries block material that would be offensive to the children. On July 26, 2006, the U.S. House of Representatives passed the Deleting Online Predators Act, known as DOPA. This takes CIPA to the next level by requiring public schools and libraries to block students' ability to go to social networking sites such as MySpace and Facebook. The technology use policy at my school specifically states in Section E, you may not use technology resources or any other communication/messaging devices, including devices not owned by Quincy Community Schools, to engage in cyberbullying. So, why does the Michigan legislature need to mandate that schools enact cyberbullying policies if we already have all those laws and policies in place to protect the students? Where's the funding coming from to support this proposed legislation? Michigan schools were cut $165 per student for the 2010-2011 school year. The state is proposing further budget cuts for the 2011-2012 school year. How can the state keep mandating policies that cost school money when they can't provide the funding for these policies? Michigan schools are also seeing a huge decline in the number of students. Because schools are funded by how many students attend, this means less and less dollars for our school. We had to cut teachers, parapros, and programs because of these state budget cuts. Now, the state wants us to add another policy that costs money. Will another mandated policy for school districts to enforce really make a difference? Since the students are not allowed to access, they can't have access to social networking sites and chat rooms at school, this cyberbullying must be taking place at home. Where are the parents in this problem? With so many devices, parents must be cautious of their child's unmonitored communications. Now, more than ever, parents must step up their own communications with their children to help prevent cyberbullying. This proactive communication can be the first line of defense in preventing this negative communication known as cyberbullying. Currently, there are 43 states that have cyberbullying policies. Yet, all research shows that cyberbullying is on the rise. Don't misunderstand me, please. These are horrible, senseless crimes. However, this resolution for a mandated school cyberbullying policy will not change the outcome. We have enough policies. Let our schools do what they were intended to do, educate. Thank you.
And as I stated before we began, normally in a traditional debate, now the debaters would get 5 minutes to prepare a rebuttal and then give a 2-minute rebuttal speech, basically pointing out what the argument said and why they were wrong. We're not going to do that today for a variety of reasons, but just hopefully that gave all of you that didn't get a chance to participate in Contemporary Issues Forum a sense of what the debate program actually is and how it's structured, and hopefully we can get a number of you involved next year as well. So please join me once again in congratulating our winners this year. And each of our debaters will be presented with a certificate acknowledging their success this year in the Contemporary Issues Forum 2010, Michigan Youth in Government.
Now we present the awards for the House and Senate.
We would first like to recognize Lieutenant Governor Haley Bean,